In this video, we're going to take a quick look at some of the selection options and different functions that we have here for you at EasyStone. Because we had a user ask, well, how do I select stones of all of one color? And one of the most exciting features in my mind about EasyStone is its selection capabilities. Because unlike a lot of Rhinestone software, we have so many selection options available to us. We can really isolate anything that we want to isolate. So if we look at this design, let's say I wanted to, for whatever reason, I wanted to manually create a color separation. So what I can do here, we have black stones, we have clear stones, and we have topaz stones. So let's say for this first template, I want to extract everything but topaz. So I can select one black stone, hold my shift key down, and select one clear stone, and right here under our selections tab, mark selected object. So what happens when we do that, it kind of sets those stones and it grabs that fill color. So now if I say over here, I choose fill, I say pick up all the stones that match the fill of the one or multiple objects. In this case, I've selected 2. We could select a dozen and it would select the fills that match all 12 of those objects, for example. So now when I choose create selection, it says there are no items selected. Do we want to search the whole document? No, we don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and make a selection, and then we're defining the selection to that area only. And that's a big deal, because there are a lot of Rhinestone programs where we can select by color, but it does so design wide, and we want to isolate it to just the area we have selected. So now when I hit create selection, now it picks up all of my clear stones, all of my black stones. So then I go back over to CorelDRAW and hit delete, and now you can see everything is gone but what I wanted. Now, likewise, we also have the ability to pick up stones by size. So in this particular design, we have both 6s and 10s. So if I wanted to, I could say, okay, pick up all topaz stones, mark it, and what I'm saying is pick up all stones of that size. Okay, so if I just use size, it will pick up all stones of that size. So it wouldn't matter what the color is in this scenario. Now I could choose pick up all stones that match that size and that fill color. So if I had black SS6s and topaz SS6s, it would only pick up. But I also have topaz in SS10 in this scenario. So I want to isolate it to the fill and the size, and it would pick up just that. Now in this case, I'm just going to choose size, and automatically we have this 0.4. It's the most commonly used setting, and what this is saying is whatever size my object is, plus or minus 0.4 of a millimeter, pick it up. And so now we can go ahead and choose that create selection option. And this is an important distinction. When we're in EasyStone, we're in EasyStone. I can't hit my delete key and affect CorelDRAW. I actually have to click back over here in CorelDRAW, get off of EasyStone, and then I can go ahead and hit my delete key. So you can see now if we look at our design, only SS10 stones are selected. All the SS6s have been removed from the design that were topaz in color. So you can select by fill, by name, by size, by outline color, by outline width, all those different options. Now, as if that wasn't enough, down below here, you see we have the select by outline. And if we mark an outline shape, so let's just create a shape here. Let's go into our 2-point line tool, for example, and I'm just going to create a shape. Just something deliberately strange, because I just want to show you how this would work. Alright, so we have a shape. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select that shape that we just created, and if we give it a fill, you can see that this is actually 2 separate lines, so that's a problem. So let's go over here to our editing tab and click join paths. So we have one solid object. See that? So we have one solid object, and what we're going to do back over here in our selection tab is mark it. That's our outline, and we're going to select all of our stones, and now we can say Alright, pick up all stones that are inside that shape that I marked. Everything else, don't pick up. So let's go ahead and choose Select by Outline. And you can see only those stones. You see those stones? Only those stones. If I come in here and choose the Rename and Fill, only the stones that are inside the shape are selected. Those stones that are really, really close to the edge, sometimes they'll get selected, sometimes they won't. But that's going back to, we can do inside and on outline. So if we choose both, it would pick up all stones that are on the inside of that object and right dead smack on that line. If they touch near that line, it'll pick up. Or we could say pick up all stones to the outside of a given outline. So lots of different options there. But to complicate things even further, if we wanted to pick up all stones to the inside of that match the size of the stone that we marked, we can do that too. So we can utilize all of these selection options and these selection options with the Select by Outline. So it adds a lot more versatility. So if I had a situation where I had a given area, a shape, and I wanted to select all blue outlines that were SS6 in size, I could mark one blue SS6 stone and say, okay, on the inside of this shape, match this size and this fill, and it would extract just those blue shapes, just the SS6 stones, just the ones that fit inside that shape. So we could really get down and isolate what stones we want to manipulate. And it's one of the great features, I think, here in EasyStone. It does take a little bit getting used to because there are so many variables involved, but having that capability to isolate those stones, I think you'll find will be a great asset for you. So that's how you work with our selection tools. So remember, we have to mark. We can mark more than one source object to pick up. And likewise on here, we could, in theory, watch this. So let's say we had two shapes, right? And we want to pick up all the stones in both of those shapes. We could select them both, go ahead and mark them, select all of our stones, and then we could say, give me all the stones that are on the inside of those two shapes. So we'll select by outline. It would analyze both shapes. So let's go ahead and change our stone color out, and we'll do the Rename and Fill. And you can see that the stones that were inside the two shapes that I had marked, in both scenarios, they were picked up and we changed the color of them. Because of all these stones being right on the line, if we would have chosen on outline, then those stones would have been picked up too. So anyhow, that's some of the different options you have available to you here in EasyStone when you're making your selections.